Hi, I'm Dylan Taylor. This is Amber Withenar. Today we have with us Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon.com, the everything store.
Yeah, so Jeff, you're doing good today?
Yes.
Yeah? So it's okay if we just get right into the questions?
That's perfect. That's perfectly fine.
Great. So, Jeff, when you were a kid, what were some of your aspirations and inspirations?
Well, I've always had a huge interest in how things work, and as a teenager I moved to Miami, and education became a huge part of my life, and that's actually where my love of computers sprouted. So.
Okay, well, I see that you mentioned that education was a big part of your life. How did you use this to push you further in your career?
Well, as far as my educational status goes, I graduated high school with fairly good grades, I'd say. And I actually was able to graduate valedictorian of my class. So, that was a big step for me. And while I was in high school, I actually started a program called Dream Institute. And it's a educational program for kids who are from anywhere from 4th to 6th grade.
Yeah.
And then I moved on to college and went to Princeton, and I actually graduated in 1986 with summa cum laude. So
I see.
That's really good.
So you've told us about your high school and your college life,
Right.
but after that, what led you into the business field?
Well, after I moved from Princeton and after I graduated, I actually found plenty of work firms that I worked with, and this is actually where I found my wife, and she actually, surprisingly enough, went to Princeton as well. And these firms were where my business interest intensified and where the business sector of my life began. So
So was this where you got sparked with the idea to start Amazon.com?
Actually, no, not necessarily. I noticed that the internet usage increased by 2,300%, and I thought it was pretty interesting. And this was an annual increase, it wasn't over a period of years or anything. And this is what sprouted my interest in beginning a new string of business, which in turn resulted in Amazon. So.
Yeah. So when you first started Amazon, what was your goal? What did you want to do?
Well, as many don't know, Amazon actually started as Cadabra.com.
Cadaver.
Cadaver.
Okay.
Yeah. And but we ended up changing it to Amazon because of the endless South American river. And this was big inspiration for us and for the company because as a company, we wanted the website to be known around the world and not just in one particular area. And we started to achieve this goal when our company became public in 1997. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so after you achieved this goal, did you see any other major growths in your company?
Yes, actually, the initial success of the company was great, even without press promotion.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we sold in the U.S., and not only in the U.S., but in 45 other countries. And that was within a 30-day period. And so, not only that, but in 2 months, we had reached a $20,000 sale per week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And sales jumped from $10,000 to $17 billion in 2011.
That just shows good leadership skills can, promote business success.
It really can.
Yeah.
It really can.
So that's, wow, just a lot of growth that you guys were going through. So were there any things that, any hurdles that you had to pass, anything that hurdled your confidence in the company?
Well, when we first started, it's funny that you say that, that's why I'm kind of smiling, because when we first started, we had a lot of investors that were against us and really didn't believe in what we, thought we were what we knew we were going to achieve, and no one was interested in investing with us because no one believed that we were actually going to be a successful company.
Wow.
And many market analysts actually even questioned if Amazon was even going to make it, so it was...
Yeah.
It's now that you say that, we have had pretty rough times.
Yeah.
It wasn't all, a box of chocolates.
Yeah. So I was wondering, who was your biggest role model or supporter, and what leadership qualities or what values did they instill in you?
I would have to say that my grandfather was my role model.
He was.
And I would have to say that my parents were my support group.
Yeah.
My grandfather, him alone, instilled in me a very huge value of hard work and self-reliance. And this was through my childhood experience on his farm. I helped him work a lot on his farm. And my parents were willing to sacrifice pretty much all of their savings just for me to be successful in my company and just to start it up. And this alone taught me the value of making sacrifices for what you believe in and what you want to do with your life.
So,
were there any last advice that you would give to our audience that you could help them with for the future America?
I'd say make sure you focus on something that you're passionate about. And remember that risk is a huge part of being successful and a huge part of progress. And don't regret failure, but instead regret not trying. And lastly, I have to add in my internet part, But lastly, this is day one for the internet, and we still have so much to learn.
Well,